Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show! I am your host, Andrew Illy, and This is the ball of motherfucking truth, man. Episode 66. We are live on your Thursday night. Thank you very much for joining me. Wherever you are around the world. Wherever you are, you silly motherfuckers. Thank you again, everyone, for joining me on this beautiful, gorgeous night. I am so fucking happy at that. Oh my God. The Blue Baggers have beaten Port Adelaide in Adelaide. And the final score was, I'm just going to bring it up because I don't even know. It was 16-11-107 to Port Adelaide 10-11-71. 36-point winners, the Blue Baggers, with an 8-goal blitz in the last quarter. Unbelievable stuff, man. I have been waiting ever so patiently for this type of performance, man. And I've mentioned it on this channel before. We need to learn to kill teams off. And finally, man, we did it tonight. We finished Port Adelaide off. And it was just an unbelievable quarter to finish the game. So much happened. We're going to unpack it all, guys. If you're enjoying the show, I've lost my breath. Jesus Christ. I lost my mind in the last quarter when Cripper scored back-to-back goals. But we'll get into it. Before we get into the review, guys, follow me on all social media. That is balloftruth_pod on X, formerly known as Twitter. balloftruth.pod on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. And our home is YouTube. So, of course, guys, hit that like button if you enjoy the show. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And turn on that bell for all notifications. Plenty of content out there. Most of my live reviews are in that live section. They don't come up on the channel under videos. So make sure that you guys click on the live section to watch all my match reviews. I go live after every single game and just give my take on the game, guys. So enjoy. Man. Oh, wow. What a quarter. What a quarter to finish that game. Oh, I can't believe how happy I am, man. Honestly, that is a huge, huge statement win. I was confident all week, man. I really was. I know we're a better side than Port Adelaide. Now, whether or not we rocked up or not, because we don't like really playing on this ground, that was another question. But the thing that gave me confidence is we won a game on this ground early in the year in Adelaide round against Fremantle. So I thought maybe the cobwebs were out for that one. So I was confident, man. Especially, I was praying that there'd be no changes to this squad. No fresh injuries, none of that bullshit, because we've copped it enough. If we went into this game, no changes, I was very, very confident, and that was the case tonight. And I pray, I don't know if you guys saw right at the end, TDK kind of landed very heavily off a marking contest. I hope he's okay, and hopefully no injuries tonight. I really hope it was just he got winded. Let's see what happens. But man, wow. Let's get into the game. First quarter, first off, for maybe 3 quarters, this was the scrappiest, ugliest, sloppiest game you'll probably ever see. It was garbage. Fumbling, just errors, turnovers, left, right, and centre by both teams, not just the Blues, by Port Adelaide as well. It just wasn't clean. There was no flow. It was just end-to-end shit, kick to kick basically. But man, in the last quarter, we fully turned it on and it was amazing. First quarter, gave away a free kick. It was Boyd over the shoulder free. Burgoyne scored a goal inside the first 2 minutes of the game. That made it 6-0. TDK answered back with a beautiful goal here. I think it was Burgoyne who kicked it out on the full. Akers set up TDK in the pocket. And he drilled this one from about 45 metres on a difficult angle for him, but left footers more favourable on that side. He scored the goal, put us up by a point, 6-7. The very next play, TDK out the ruck, grabbed it, broke a tackle, blasted it inside 50, set up a Razio, who then missed. I was gutted at that. Akers was starting well in this one. I thought he was fantastic all game, Blake Akers. Next play, Cripps burst through a few players after a clever tap. Chincotta was on the ground and he was about to, if he grabbed this ball, he would have got tackled straight away. But he had the peace of mind to just slap it forward to Cripps, and Cripps burst through, like I said, a few players, blasted it inside 50 to the square. Huge contested mark by Charlie Curnow, and he kicked his first. That put us up by 7. Georgiades with a nice set shot tied things at 14-14. A few players were left ball watching here, and they got that loose man inside 50, and they scored that one from about 45-50 metres out. I wasn't liking how easily Port Adelaide were getting out the back of packs here and breaking away from stoppages. I thought we were a bit sloppy. Port were running harder at this point. But we stayed in it, man. They weren't far better than us. They just looked quicker. And I knew we could turn it around. Weeders got caught holding the ball, and Soldo scored the goal to make Port Adelaide up by 6. It was a crappy 5 minutes, this little period here, man, by Blues. We were careless with the footy. Like I said, a lot of errors and turnovers. Port were first to everything, and we're just slow to react. A lot of ball watching going on here. But to end the quarter, Hewitt with a nice setup to the square. Charlie Curnow on the lead. And it was great link-up play by Newman and Cripps down the wing here. Charlie Curnow scored his second goal of the quarter, which tied things right on quarter time, 20-20. And, man, we'll take that. We'll take that. First quarter, tied game. I thought we needed to make better, quicker decisions. And we couldn't get much flow going. But that goal was massive, man. That goal was massive. Just to turn a bit of momentum back on our side. I thought Chincotta was great in the first quarter. Akers was awesome. Newman, all game, but especially first quarter, he was fantastic. Lots of defensive, nice plays there. Cripps and Curnow were involved a lot. And that was it for the first quarter, man. 20-20. Second quarter, Charlie Curnow got pinged in the first quarter with this new rule. And then at the start of the second, the same thing happened where Horn Francis got pinged and no free kick. Here comes that inconsistency with the new rule. I don't know, man. Umpires still don't know what they're doing. It doesn't look like they know, because there was some that made me tear my fucking hair out tonight. I'll tell you that much. Stevie's in the chat. Mate, wouldn't be a Carlton game if it wasn't the fumbling. Yeah, I know. But you know what? We turned it around in the last. That's all we can ask for. So, very fucking happy, man. Anyway, Kemp scored the first goal of the second quarter. Fantastic stuff. TDK pumped it forward to Curnow. Ball spilt loose here. Fogarty with quick hands to Walsh. Quickly passed it to Hewitt, who found Kemp with a snap to put us up by 6 points, 26-20. I love seeing Kemp score a goal because he rarely scores them. Fantastic stuff. We started to move the ball a little bit quicker. But when we didn't, man, it was just turnover because Port Adelaide would get everyone back and would just kick it to that long contest. No good. Orazio with a slightly high tackle on Horn Francis. That was... I don't even know what that note was. Sorry, guys. Port started to win clearances at this point. They started getting on top of us. And Harry with an intercept mark. Great read. Left foot snap on goal. With a weird moment, man. TDK interfering on Cripps here. Gave the free away to Soldo. And Soldo was the one who passed it straight to Harry. Shocking kick. Turnover. Harry with a left foot snap goal. And that made it 32-22. So a goal against the little run of play there where Port was starting to get on top. But we had so many great opportunities wasted here, man. Some terrible entries and wasted chances to really blow out that lead. I tweeted out, and I love him, but Sammy Walsh, he's kicking inside 50 in his entries, man. They were he had about 4 shockers in this quarter. Turnover inside 50. Ugly 10 minutes of footy here. It was just a scrappy game, like I said at the start of the show. We got punished for our scrappy, careless mistakes and non-clean footy. Georgiades scored a goal. Newman turned this one over, made it 30-33. Elijah got tackled at the legs. Umpires called holding the ball here. I thought he was a bit harsh. But then a fantastic... Fantasia at the end of this court. I don't know if you guys remember this. He has kicked it outside of the foot while the ball was literally about to bounce over the line for a throw-in in the pocket. Outside of the foot, soccer-style kick. It was going in, but Port Adelaide defender touched it through. Anyway, the final score at halftime was 32-35. We're up by 3 points. We led every break, which pleased me. Saad won a great one-on-one in this quarter when he was running back and saved us a goal pretty much. Newman, some great work and spoils as well. Thought he was awesome, saved us some goals. But overall, man, it was a frustrating quarter, wasteful turnovers. Port just looked a little bit quicker on the counters and they were breaking cleaner as well. But look, man, we still had the lead at halftime, so that was a plus. And in the second half, I really wanted us to see a bit more effort and pressure going into this one. And it was a much better quarter in the third. Harry should have scored the first goal. I don't know who kicked this to him, but he was alone in the goal square. And all he had to do was pick it up, but he was hesitating and he fumbled it. And he ended up missing the shot and it hit the Port Adelaide defender's boot, which went in for a point. That frustrated the shit out of me. But that's all right. Whatever, man. Shit happens. We were dominating inside 50s in the first 5 to 7 minutes. We had like 6 or 7 to 0, but we just couldn't put it on the scoreboard. Our entries were just shit house. Just couldn't get anything going in there. A lot of nothing kicks and high kicks, which really gave our forwards no opportunity to mark it. And then we got punished, man. After all this dominance, Port Adelaide went on the other end. And I think it was Georgiades who scored the goal, which put him up 38-37. We just got punished for our rubbish footy, man, and not capitalising on those entries. Then, what I thought was maybe the best play in the first 3 quarters alone was when we moved it quick. We hit every single pass. It was Cripps to Owies to Charlie Curnow. He was involved. Finally got it to Harry Mackay for the goal. And a great assist by Charlie, who bombed it inside 50. It was clean. He didn't go for that quick around the body kick that we always mention on this show. He finally composed himself and blasted it. Good connection on the footy here. And you knew as soon as he kicked it, it was so clean that Harry had every opportunity to mark it. I loved that by Charlie Curnow, who was fantastic tonight. And Harry put us back up 43-38, I think it was. Umpires with a disgusting free against Newman. Newman literally just got the ball, got tackled by 2 players, had no option, had no arms, no legs to get rid of this thing. They pinged him for holding the ball. Couldn't fucking believe this thing. Then we'll just sloppy, messy play, fumbling. TDK had nothing to kick to here. He marked it like at about 70 metres out from the Port goal. No one was running across to cover. He's kicked it, turnover, and Port Adelaide had crumbers everywhere, and Horn Francis ended up kicking a goal from this counter-attack, which put them back up by 2 points, 45-43. We just kept kicking it to Radagalia and Alia, making them look like freaking Tom Stewart back there. Very frustrating entries. This was the one that made me the most sick all game. Todd Marshall, clear as day. Clear as anything I've ever seen, holding the ball, and these fucking yellow maggots didn't call it. He got spun in a tackle with prior opportunity and dropped the ball. No free kick, let alone they gave that one to Newman, which I just mentioned, was absolutely disgusting. Dan in the chat, Blue Boys, fuck yeah, man. What a win. Unbelievable. But yeah, that Todd Marshall one, man, made me sick. Umpires were fucking awful for that. And then moments later, it was Butters who got caught holding the ball. Similar thing, they didn't give it. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I knew there was going to be inconsistency with this new rule. But man, these were clear as day holding the balls. Umpires were just pussies who didn't fucking pay it. Anyway, that Butters one, the Butters one, Kennedy continued to play and nearly fucked his knee because of it. So if they called that free kick back, Kennedy wouldn't have kept playing, and he seriously nearly twisted his knee and looked fucking awful, man. Luckily, he's all right, touch wood. But that's the thing, man. Call it. Stop being pussies. And yeah, I know, Dan, we're playing in Port. I know, they're going to favour them every fucking day of the week. But anyway, we move on. The Todd Marshall one got me more than anything, man. I wish I could show it and show you guys. That made me so freaking angry. I snapped through my notepad. Just, it was all happening in my household. Charlie Curnow with a brilliant goal from the boundary. 52-45. Owies and Williams assisted this one. And got a little bit of a lead. Port got behind way too easy after this, moments later. Off a throw-in, counter. I think it was Horn Francis who broke away. And then Georgiades kicked another goal. 51-52. We're up by 1 point. Zach Williams scored the last goal of the quarter. TDK out the ruck to Hewitt, to Cripps, passed it inside 50. Harry's taken the mark. The umpires have not paid this. I don't know what was going on. Luckily, Owies grabbed the gather with a loose ball, kicked it forward, and then Zach Williams had the presence to kick that goal around his body. 51-58 at three-quarter time. Blues up by 7. There was one moment which really annoyed me, and I'm on Charlie for this because he doesn't chase. But I swear since this happened, after that, he actually tracked back and chased some defenders. But there was a moment where I think it was Charlie Curnow and Owies. It was like a 2-on-1. Aliyah struggling to pick up this ball. And they're just, jogging there. It was a 2v1. We should have locked him in there, but he just escaped and won a 2v1, and Port got away with that one. That one annoyed me. There was also, on a positive note, McGovern with a huge spoil when Port Adelaide had a counter-attack and they looked like it was going to be a sure goal, but he sprinted his ass off back there to get the spoil, and we broke away after that. That was a good moment. And Horn Francis was probably their most dangerous player in that quarter, and probably the game, man. He looked awesome. He's a fucking gun. Absolute jet of a player. And what I did notice with this umpiring, man, that a lot of players were still unsure of the rule and they were hesitating. They were either thinking too much about it and getting rid of it way too quick, or the total opposite where they thought they were okay to hold the ball in. It was weird, man. But yeah, like I mentioned, Walshy's inside 50s, they continued this quarter. He was unbelievable in the last, which we'll get to. But just our entries in general, not just Walsh, everyone, they weren't great. Hewitt had one that kicked up, it nearly hit the bloody clouds. I mean, we just got to be a little bit cleaner, especially next week against Essendon. We need to be cleaner going inside 50. Left foot. Yeah, I know. Was that the Charlie one, Dan? Charlie with his left foot on the boundary. Unbelievable. And Chin Cotter wore Butters like a cheap suit. He did. It was amazing. Chin Cotter was unbelievable tonight. I fucking loved his game. It was awesome. Now, last quarter, this was the one which just blew my mind. It was amazing in a good way. Great start to the quarter. Sard with kind of a clearance off the ground, soccer kick, inside 50. Fogarty gathered it, Lockie Fogarty. Handball to Cripps. He slipped. He's broken a tackle and snapped it from 35 metres out. Great start to the quarter here. Cripper on fucking fire in the last. He had a quiet first 3 quarters, and in this last quarter, he just went on another level. He was rampaging, man. Him, Walsh, Harry, TDK, Akers were all brilliant. But Cripper really, really was the catalyst at the start of this quarter. And Walshy too. Walsh had a great quarter, and he's got to be in my votes. But despite his entries inside 50, he made up for it, man. Sam Walsh, I'm pretty sure, I'll check this in a second, had 13 tackles for the game, which was the most out of anyone. Unbelievable. We completely shut him out this quarter. Cripps, right after this, bang, with another goal. This one got me off the couch. I fucking lost my mind, and I knew we were going to win from this point. What a goal. TDK out of the middle. Great handball off an aerial ball to Walsh, who found Cripps on an angle. back-to-back goals within moments of each other. 70-51, up by 19 points. Cripper's gone bang. 2 quick goals. Spread the lead out. Shocked Port Adelaide. This one really pissed me off as well. And the umpire was such a fucking douchebag about it. McGovern was clearly impacted. His shoulder, this was Port Adelaide going inside 50. He was going to clearly intercept this mark, but he got dragged back by, I think, Marshall or someone like that. Free kick not given, goal Port Adelaide. That gave him straight back, and it was 13 points, 57-70. McGovern's like, what are you looking at? And he's like, oh, I didn't see it. How did you not see it? He's like, oh, you slipped. The umpire thought and assumed that McGovern slipped. Like, get fucked, mate. What are you watching? He clearly got impacted and held back. He would have easily got this spoil, and Port Adelaide kicked a goal from it. No free kick. Anyway. Next bounce. Clearance at the bounce. TDK to Walsh. To Cripps. Inside 50. Zach Williams. Goal. Straight back at ya. Fuck you, Port Adelaide. I was pumped, man. 76-57. Clearance again. Cripps inside 50 once again. Kennedy, quick hands to Always quick hands to Chincotta for a goal. Oh my God. Chincotta gets on the score sheet. You love when he scores a goal. Brilliant game from Chincotta here. Snapped one. Made it 82-57. Game was looking out of Port Adelaide's reach at this point. 25 points up. But we gave them one back, man. Finn Layson with a miracle banana goal. It looked like it missed, honestly. Not enough pressure here by the baggers in the pocket. We should have forced him over. But he got a clean kick at it, and man, Finn Layson's a gun. You don't want to give him too many opportunities. And he slotted this one. Made it 63-82. Port Adelaide back in it, 19 points. Charlie and Harry, great link-up play in the next goal. Harry was the one who ended up kicking it inside 50 from a Charlie pass. Elijah Hollins with a quick handball to Gov. McGovern's inside 50 and scores a goal bang on his left. What a snap. 88-24. Right back at him. Great reply and great response to the Port Adelaide goal. That made it 24 points. 88-64 was a fucking goal fest at this point. It was just goal for goal for goal. Next play, we let him out of 50 way too easy. Didn't lock him in. Counter-attack by Port Adelaide, and Marshall scored the goal. In the lead-up, Boyd should have intercepted it. He overran it with a punch in the middle of the pitch, and Port Adelaide scored a goal. And they just kept creeping back, man. It was frying my brain. That made it 18 points, 70-88. Then, Akers with an intercept mark. Shocking turnover by Port Adelaide inside our 50. And Akers took his time, went back, and went bang, straight through the middle. Great goal by Akers. Great game by Akers. He was awesome and ran his fucking ass off, man. Honestly, that put us up by 24 points with 8 minutes left. It was 94-71. Akers again off a stoppage. Loose ball. Quick inside 50. Zach Williams with a mark. Goes back and puts the nail in the coffin here. 101-71. Baggers by 30 points. And the last goal came when Akers again, third time in a row, set up Harry Mackay. 107-71. Harry goes back and kicks a goal. Blue Baggers by 36 points. Final score 107-71. What a win. Brilliant stuff. Dan in the chat, umpires have a Mr. Garrison voice, South Park. They do. They do. Score him here. Umpires calls a point. Just want to see if it was touched. Man, what a win. Unbelievable scenes. I'm just so happy. Let's go to the stats and then I'll give you guys my votes on this one. Stats-wise, disposals were very even. 329-336. Free kick count, Port Adelaide in favour there, 14-13, but they were inconsistent. I'm not going to say too much on there. I've already said. Contested footy, we were up on both contested and uncontested. Marks inside 50, 13 all, fair enough. Hit outs, Port Adelaide just. I thought TDK's ruck work was fantastic, and when it was Harry and whoever else was in there, it was mostly Harry. We weren't too impactful, so Which begs a question which we asked last week. Is it better to play Pitternet and TDK when TDK's off the pitch? I don't know. That's something the boys have got to figure out. But, it was really obvious when TDK was off in the ruck contests. Tackles inside 50, 16 to 14. Inside 50s, we had way more, 55 to 40. And that's pretty much it, man. Stats didn't really mean too much. In the last quarter, we scored 8 goals, man. We absolutely pounded them. And I'm so happy. That's bringing us, technically, I know there's more games to go in the round, but we are sitting 4th. 32 points. So, it's huge, man. And we've got Essendon next week. Massive stuff. Massive stuff. I'll go through who I thought was fantastic tonight as well before I give my votes for the Baggers. Walshy was amazing. Newman was awesome. Cripps, his last quarter, you got to give him a vote there. I'll give you my 3-2-1. Akers was awesome. TDK, fantastic. I hope he's okay at the end. Thought Elijah Hollins was great. Hewitt did his job. Mackay with 3 goals was awesome. Sardi looked way better than last week, I thought. He was much quicker and had more confidence in his body. Fantasia was amazing. He did. Fantasia had a great game. Orazio. I mean, he doesn't score goals, but he got 10 touches and they were all impactful, man. He did well and his ground game was good. Did what he needed to do. McGovern was good. In defence, he scored a goal as well. Always was there. He did his job. Everyone did their job, man. Weeders, the whole defence. Kemp was awesome. And Kempy scored a goal as well. How many did Charlie kick? Charlie kicked 3. Oh, so Zach Williams, Mackay, and Charlie, all 3 goals. And Cripper scored 2 in the last as well. TDK, Akers, Kemp, Chincotta, McGovern. I love those goal kickers, man. That is amazing. Ollie was just running everywhere. Stevie says, yeah, man. Ollie was fantastic. Dan, was TDK just winded? I hope so. That's awesome to hear. I just want him fit and firing for the Bombers next week. It's going to be a fucking ripper. Everyone played well, man. There's not too many negatives. It was just the first 3 quarters were so fucking sloppy. And I really think that we just need to clean it up a little bit, especially with the entries inside 50. And we'll be all right, man. I'm so looking forward to next week. My votes. It's tough, man. I was harsh on Walshy for his entries, but in the end, man, I think I'm going to give him 3 votes. Sam Walsh, 3 votes for me. Especially because he had 13 tackles, man. That is amazing. That is unbelievable. Whew. My number 2. This is going to be a hard one. I'm actually going to go something really random here, guys. And you can disagree with it, but I'm going to give 2 votes to Chincotta. I thought he was fantastic tonight. Shut out Butters. I'm pretty sure he was on Butters. And just his little fundamentals, the 1%ers that you don't get stats for, man. He only had 13 touches technically, but he did so much more than that. Scored a goal, shut out a Port Adelaide superstar. He was fantastic. I'm going to give him 2 votes, man. I thought he was one of the catalysts for this win. He was fucking unbelievable. Could have given it to Newman. There's so many players you could give it to. I'm going to give the 1 vote to Cripper for his last quarter, man. Those 2 back-to-back goals. He had 10 touches in the last. Unbelievable. Our clearances in the second half were much better. Unbelievable stuff. The Hollins brothers working well. And we just look... Man, that's what happens when you don't change a side, man. Seriously, it's so frustrating with the injuries that we've had that we haven't had that consistency. And the players get familiar with each other 2 weeks in a row. It's like this. Is that the first time all year that we haven't had to make a change? I fucking love it. And I hope it's the same for next week. I wouldn't change a thing against Bombers. Absolutely not. And after the bye, we'll start getting players back. Chera, Jack Martin, Motlop. Who else is missing? Some big players. Can't even think. But man, if we can get to the bye beating Essendon, we are looking unbelievable, man. Oh, Stevie, thank you so much. I forgot Fogarty. Lockie Fogarty is one of the most important players in this side. Everything he does is fantastic. His tackling pressure. No one else can do it in the squad what he does. That Lockie Fogarty is one of a kind player, man. And it's just brilliant to see. We've watched him come into his own and grow as a player. And thank you, Stevie, for mentioning that. Lockie Fogarty, unbelievable. And yes, Dan, I will see you next week. Great stuff there. We nearly hit the 200 subscribers, guys. So hit that subscribe button if it's your first time, second time. Oh, I don't care, man. Subscribe. We're going to give something away very soon over the next couple of weeks. We're nearly hit that 200 mark. The channel's growing. Hit that like button too, guys. That's pretty much it, man. There was one thing in my notes that I put Wines with a clear holding the ball not given as well. And then there was one free kick against Walsh with this new rule. He literally just got tackled, no prior opportunity, arms were pinned, his legs were pinned too, so there was no way Walsh could have got rid of this thing. But the umpire has hesitated on calling the whistle on a ball up for some fucked up reason, and then paid the free kick against Walsh. I mean, I don't know why they're introducing rules halfway during the year, man. And even the lead up to this, on every footy show that I watched on Fox Footy and the media and social media and all these examples, it was all Carlton, man. I mean, are they out to get us? I don't know. Seriously, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist here, but since that North Melbourne game where we pounded them and we dominated and we're winning free kicks because of their fucking stupidity, giving us easy free kicks, and the free kick count was like 39-20 or something ridiculous, right? We won so many free kicks that game. It's like ever since then, man, the AFL is punishing us for some reason and using us as an example. I don't know, man. I don't know if you guys feel that way too, but it's really pissing me off. But anyway, man, we won. It was probably one of our best wins all year, especially best away win, not including the Brisbane one. I mean, that's 2 interstate wins now, isn't it? Well, 3 really if you include the Freo game. We're on a roll, man. We've got the squad to do this. Now, you don't win in the middle of the year, I know. But we're finding our groove. We've won 2 in a row now after a little patchy, couple of losses here and there. But don't want to blame injuries, but it has some sort of, reason for it. So now that we've got a bit of consistency and our squad's up and about, hopefully we stay injury-free and healthy. Midweek, I saw Doherty running. Unbelievable stuff, man. I was thinking, I'm like dreaming. I'm like, fuck, hopefully if we make finals, he can push, but I doubt it. And Sauce as well, Jack Silvani. Anyway, man, I'm rambling here. I've been going, 33 minutes. I'm fucking so happy. It's made my whole weekend already. 2 wins in a row. We've got Essendon next Sunday. Let's look forward to it. We've got a bit of a break now. So, guys, I'll drop a preview for that one midweek. Of course, follow me on all social medias, guys. The links are in the description. balloftruth_pod on X. I'm always tweeting during the game. And follow me on all social medias, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Subscribe on YouTube. Hit that like button. Helps the channel out, guys. I'm going to jump on Blue Abroad on fan cams. Follow me there as well on Terry's channel. Unbelievable stuff there with the fan cams. Brilliant stuff to see. And he's got reviews and player analysis and just everything there. Fantastic. And he's helped me with my channel. So shout out to Terry. Up the fucking Blue Baggers. I'm so pumped. Let's go. Let's fucking go and look forward to next week against Essendon. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Kenny in the chat just before we go. How good was Kemp's goal? Oh, man, Kemp's goal was amazing. I jumped off my seat. Him and Chincotta and McGovern. All these random goal scorers tonight. I loved it. Thank you for popping that in the chat. I loved it. Guys, I'm out of here. Enjoy your Thursday night. Enjoy your weekend. I love you all. Go Baggers. Pump for next week. Adios. Goodbye.